Suggest if you encounter a panhandler is probably the last thing I would ask you to do is give them money. Uh, the reason is you never know what they're going to do with that money. I would ask that you give them what they're asking for. If they're asking for a coat, gloves, food, if you feel compelled to give them that, feel free. But there's many organizations in town where you can provide them with money and they will provide the homeless with what they're asking for. Just a safer way to do it.
We're providing money to them at the intersections, they're gonna come back. And if we don't want that to be happening, we'll stop providing money to them at those intersections. And as the chief mentioned, provide them to organizations that can help them with food or services, clothes, things of that nature would be better.
I think the dilemma clearly is trying to be pulling up that intersection. I'll refer to Mary Kay Meyer, who used to be with the Manna House in Concordia, now deceased, ran the Shalom House in Kansas City. In the event that she ran across somebody who needed that, said, I'm hungry, she would take them to the nearest restaurant, sit down with them, have a meal, get acquainted with them. That ideally would be what the citizen would do, right?
I don't like the part about giving them a ride somewhere.
About what?
You're putting a perfect stranger in your car,
She was walking in this case.
and I'm thinking like a cop. I don't like that.
I know, she
Okay.
was walking. But
Okay.
my point is that for most people, I understand that you don't want to create an attractive nuisance
Yes.
with giving money. But for most people, we feel bad about the situation. That's an easy fix. Here's some money, help yourself
And then
out.
you feel better about yourself temporarily, but I'm just trying to
Yeah.
say the flip side of where that money's really going.
There's a couple of ways to do that. I pick up guys at the mission, take them to our church every Sunday morning, and I listen to them talk about some of the panhandlers and things going on like that. And they say those guys that panhandle will make $50 to $100 a day out there. So if we see somebody personally, my wife and I, if we see somebody in need and we're going to Walmart or wherever it be, we notice them there, we'll pick up something in the store and then take it back to them. You know, you got Pop Top something and a spoon or something and give it to them. They're not always the happiest when they receive that, but it's what they're asking for. And so there is a way to curtail those kinds of things. Another thing you asked about was reducing violence. And one of the things, we live over here on 12th Street. We've had a lot of things stolen from our yard. And so one thing my wife and I started doing was in the evening we'd sit out on the porch and have our coffee or whatever we're having, and everybody that went by we would speak to them and acknowledge them. And the theft that went down in our yard reduced because
Really?
we put a face to who we were.
Yeah.
And so if you're talking to people about how they can curtail crime in their neighborhoods, you know, another thing we do is we talk to all of our neighbors and we tell each other. We started it when we moved in over there. When we would leave, we would tell every neighbor around us, and we would tell them that we were telling every neighbor. So just in case one of them was somebody that would violate us, they knew that other neighbors were watching as well.
I think that's fantastic, and that goes with that we need to get back to the knowing our neighbors.